It's the Drunk Tank Podcast, check what I'm saying. Gonna learn all about what the crew's been playing. We got Jeffy Jeff and Gus on the mic. And don't forget Bernie and that one British guy. What will they be talking about? Who knows? They got all the inside scoops. It shows. They coming at you like a bear, and you're the prey. It's the Drunk Tank Podcast, take it away.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Drunk Tank.
Oh yeah!
Dude, I wish to God we had some sort of an inside scoop.
We're coming at you like a bear, and you're the prey.
That should have been longer. That was awesome.
Yeah, that dude's good.
No. Keep it short and sweet. That's the point. I get way too many 6-minute long entries.
Is that a new one that just came in? Or?
No, I've had that one since August, I think.
That's right. Really?
Get out quick and leave him wanting more.
That's right.
Isn't that it? Mm-hmm. That was a successful song for Joel. Hey everybody, Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
What'd you guys get for Christmas?
I got this bitchin' Tony Hawk hoodie from my mom. Thanks, Mom.
That's extreme, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grind
Come
something.
on, figure it out.
I don't know.
Tell us something.
That's funny because I bought myself a Tony Hawk, that game, the ride game with the board.
How is that? Have you hurt yourself yet?
Hey, we don't have to talk about this.
Yeah, I was out of town. I'm a little disappointed. I heard there's a video floating around. It could make its way into the link dump.
Yeah, what happened in this video?
I would say your back wheel skating. I would say that watch this shit. The Tony Hawk controller
Nailed it.
is not as uncool as the guitar you're I think I broke my fucking arm. I think I broke my fucking arm. I'm not sure that you went for your high score though. I was.
Apparently, Bernie was experimenting with this board, and he somehow defied gravity in a very It was almost like watching a cartoon where you literally rose up in the air about 4 feet, and then rotated about 90 degrees, hovered for 3 seconds, and then slammed onto the floor.
So he was like a Nazi guard in the Saboteur. He was fucking floating in the air.
It was
and
amazing. And this happened in the office, so I'm astonished that he literally didn't go through the floor. I'm astonished.
Yeah, we're in a very old building, and I have a very, very heavy weight coming down on the floor.
Yeah?
So those two things combined.
The weight to age ratio is way off on that floor.
I'm very
I
glad.
wonder if you knocked any pitas off the shelves downstairs.
I have no idea. But it was... Maybe we should explain for people who don't know what Tony Hawk Ride is, in case there's people out there. Tony Hawk Ride is a skating game that comes with its own skateboard. It's almost literally like a board because it just lays flat on the ground. And we have hardwood floors here.
Until Bernie gets on it, then it doesn't lay flat.
And then Bernie lays flat on the ground.
Then it shoots out from under his feet, taking out important office equipment.
I haven't seen this video yet. I'm
actually,
really looking forward to watching it.
That's actually the problem, is that it does lay flat on the ground. And so the one trick I know from my skating days was how to take my skateboard and shoot it at people that I didn't like by just stepping. Jeff, you step forward.
Yeah.
You had skating days?
They used to skate on. They used to skate on longboards back then. It was back in the day.
Longboard.
They used to call it sidewalk surfing, but they had invented the term skateboard in the 60s.
Yeah. Skateboarding seems like the most inefficient way to travel. And you seem to think it's very effective.
I love it, dude.
No, it seems like way more work than just walking.
No, not at all.
But so I was going to do this trick at the end of it where Joel was complaining about the game, as many people do about that game. So I got on it and was joking around and was saying, look at this, fucking extreme, and I was doing it. And then I actually got to be pretty good at it, and I was making fun of Joel, telling him how I beat his scores and all this, and he was dismissing me and just working on his laptop. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to fire the skateboard at Joel, the way I throw my shoes at Gavin sometimes. So I went to shoot it at him. Completely didn't work. The physics of that without wheels on the bottom of it, it basically shot out behind me, and then I fell down like a ton of bricks onto the floor.
I planned all that, by the way. I knew exactly how that was going to go down in your head. I knew your whole logic. I knew you were going to fall. It worked out perfectly.
I'm assuming you guys are going to post the video.
I was watching the monitor, and Bernie was racking up this huge score, and I was like, how's he racking up this huge? I turn around, he's holding the board with his hand. He's like, up.
I'm holding it in midair and steering it around.
Kind of an easy way to cheat with the board.
Huh.
Is that game still here in the office?
I took it out of the office because I was afraid we would all die.
That's too bad.
And the funny thing is, too, it's going to look, when you see the video, it looks like a viral video that somebody was paid to make because the Tony Hawk box is leaning up against the chair right there in the background behind me.
I had it all figured out. I had it all planned. I knew exactly how it was. I knew it.
And then Fat Dude falls down. I mean, it looks like somebody in the background thought, this would be a great part.
I made a journal entry 2 months ago called "Fat Guy and a Skateboard." I'm telling you, I had it all set up.
You'll be a fat dude defying gravity.
But by the way,
sounds like this video is headed for break.com.
Yep, we're gonna make $500.
Yeah, Jack got dollar signs in his eyes. He really did when he took the video.
Oh, great.
But don't buy the game.
I told him if he posted the video, one of the dollar signs would not be his paycheck.
Yeah.
So he sat on it, thankfully. But when we put it up too, you'll hear me in between me laughing immediately as soon as I hit the ground. I thought I broke my arm, which would have been the weirdest karma in the world because my brother broke his arm when I was about 14. He broke his arm skateboarding in his room. And the same exact thing where
How the hell do you do that?
He just fell down and fell on the carpet in the wrong way, and he broke his arm. And I fell down, I think, on my left arm, and I thought, I bet I broke my fucking arm.
Good Lord.
Because of Tony Hawk Ride and trying to shoot the skateboard at Joel.
Must have been hard carpet.
Yeah, I mean...
In a bedroom. I skated for 20 years.
He fell on his bed weird and broke his collarbone.
You never broke anything?
No, never in my life have I broken anything. But yeah, I've had a lot of concussions from skateboarding and some sprained ankles.
Have you ever broken anything on anyone else?
No, I broke a kid's nose once on accident.
Shooting a skateboard at him?
Yeah, no, playing football.
Jack just aimed me.
That's a great story.
Jack just aimed
There's really
me.
not much to it.
And he said, hey, have you guys started the podcast? Don't forget to mention the ride thing.
he told me the second I was like walking back here to get started. He's like, don't forget to mention the video.
He comes at me, he goes, so we're going to post this, and then we're going to have a contest where people take it. I'm like, fuck you.
He was going to start a new website. It was going to be like Bernie.
The problem with Jack is now that he works here, he likes to talk.
He's overly excited about this video.
He is.
We need to beat his spirit down.
We
Crush
really
him.
should.
Make him bitter like the rest of us.
I guess we're being too nice to him, Gus.
Can't wait for the next performance review.
That's a great point, Jeff. We've been way too nice to Jack.
Yeah.
We need to step up.
We should give him the Brandon treatment.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the new group?
Oh, the Be Nice to Jack group? That is the shortest distance between Jack getting shit on.
Hold on. You mean the former group? Let me lock it right now. Be Nice to Jack is what it's called, right? I'll get rid of that shit in 2 seconds.
We need to beat him down like we did Brandon. If I walk into a room and I say, "Hey, what's up, Brandon?" He goes, "Oh." That's the only thing he said to me for the last 2 months.
Brandon?
Oh. Yeah.
Sounds like a door opening.
It does kind of. A door opening to his misery.
Hey, should we talk about?
Hey, what'd you guys do last week
No, wait.
aside from Red?
How was
the podcast?
I want to follow up on this Be Nice to Jack group because I got a personal comment. Would you like some viewer feedback?
Yeah.
We love viewer feedback. We also love viewer submitted songs.
Hey, Bernie, please punch Gus when he is on the podcast. He really contributes nothing. I truly am getting tired of him sitting there like a toad, waiting for Gav, Joel, or Jack to make a grammatical or other mistake, and then constantly rip on them for it because his, quote, burns on these guys are terrible.
Who said
Hey,
that?
for the record, I'm the one that points out people's grammatical mistakes.
I'm just saying, for those of us living on the edge, we got no time for grammar.
Being a man of importance, you should tell him to actually contribute to the conversation rather than try to rip on Jack, Joel, or Gav. Also, Jeff isn't as bad, but tell him to.
Who said that? Who said that?
Well, listen,
luckily-
soon-to-be ex-user.
See, a member of the...
That we provide what's called color.
Luckily,
the podcast?
he did sign his post, even though it's right here next to his fucking avatar.
Oh,
and
good.
it is The Skits.
The skits.
The skits. The SKITZ?
SKITTZ.
TTZ. Oh, of course.
I'm giving him my award.
I'm going to give my award
it's
too.
going to be impossible to give him an award when his account doesn't exist anymore.
Dude,
I will unlock that account and make him a sponsor.
his
Make him an admin.
his username sounds like some sort of a disease. He
So,
caught the
guys-
skits. I feel sorry for him.
So, guys, cut the shit, basically.
No way.
Cut it out.
Oh,
I mean,
okay. We're sorry.
By the way, as Mr. Skits, as for saying Gus doesn't contribute anything to the podcast, he contributes 2 days a week to putting it up online. That's a fucking monumental task.
it's easy to judge from the couch when you don't know. You don't know what's going on.
Bernie had to do it while you were I don't know where you were. You were doing a commercial or something, and he complained about every 30 seconds.
It sucks.
It does suck.
You know, part of the fucking complaining, Jeff, was the hope that you would pick up the slack, too.
I was
You didn't
busy.
do a fucking thing for that.
I've done the podcast
You were like,
4
yeah,
times.
Gus is gone. Gus didn't ask anybody to do the podcast. That sucks. I guess someone will do it.
I had shit to do.
You sat there the whole fucking time. I had shit to do, too.
No.
I have just as much shit to fill up my day as you do, but then it had to be done.
I was
Not
in the middle of... I was in crunch time with something or
Hey,
other.
what would the skits say? Calm down, everyone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be mean.
Bernie, I'm sorry.
What would the skits do?
Listen, I'm a man of importance, according
let's
to
have a
this email.
pleasant, nice time.
I like when you guys argue.
The skits' only friend is GamerChick09.
And Gus,
that's a real account.
He needs more friends.
Yeah, his other account.
But I'm befriending him.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Joel his friendship award and all that stuff.
His friendship award.
Friendship award. It's like the Boy Scouts or something.
But Gus, back me up here. Who is the only guy that will send you links for the link dump after the podcast is over?
Bernie.
That's me.
The man,
every week.
The man of importance.
If I talk about it and it has to be linked up, I send him a link to it.
I can find it anyway.
All right. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Gus did leave town, though, and didn't say anything to anybody about making the podcast.
I figured there wouldn't be one.
Why the fuck would you figure that?
Yeah, why not?
See, look at that. We're taking care of you when Gus is off figuring stuff.
Hey, so what do you guys want to talk about that's not us fighting?
I'd like to talk about the fact that they let terrorists on planes with bombs.
Oh, my God.
That's going to cause me...
Sure, that'll calm us down, Joel. We fly a lot.
Not anymore. I'm done. I'm never going to get on a plane again.
Yeah, I'm now up to 1.75 million frequent flyer miles.
Well, you should fly another 250,000 miles.
To get to 2 million?
Yeah.
Do it.
If I get to 2 million, I actually get to blow up a plane. That's one of the rewards.
You'll be just like George Clooney in that movie I haven't seen yet.
So, and I was at one point, I was on the TSA watch list. Not the no-fly list, but the watch list. How in the fuck this guy slipped through the cracks when I couldn't check into the kiosk for 3.5 years? I'd love to know that. I'd love to hear an explanation for that.
Hey, according to...
I'm going to pay the price by not being able to play flight control for the last hour of the flight now.
That's true. One of the new rules
Or have your hands under a fucking blanket.
Yeah, having your hands under the blanket.
How are we going to masturbate when we're?
I bet Snuggy's going to make a killing because of this. It's a blanket you can wear, keep your hands exposed.
Yeah,
it's a new marketing angle for them. They're going to sell another $5 million.
They should sponsor, put them on, sign an exclusive deal with like American or Delta.
Mm-hmm. Such bullshit.
So what are the new rules that they've issued?
Nothing in your lap for the last hour of a flight, right?
Yes.
Have to have your hands visible at all times.
Can't get up, right? Can't use the bathroom.
Can't get up for the last hour.
Have fun. That just doesn't even make sense.
Unless
that's reactionary to one example. Like, do all attacks happen in the last hour of a flight?
I know it makes
that's
sense.
the TSA, dude.
Yeah,
that's how they work.
It's this fucking arbitrary number.
I got news for you. When my 4-year-old has to take a piss, I'm getting up.
Yeah. Well, here's the
otherwise you're gonna have a wet ass airplane.
It makes total sense
You
because
hate
this
America.
way. No, it makes total sense because this way the terrorists will be forced to blow up the plane an hour before it lands.
I guess
that
that's
way
true.
you don't have to wait through the whole flight.
The worst part about all of this for me is that Homeland Security, the Secretary of Homeland Security, Janet Napolitano, said that this proved the system worked.
No.
This proved the system worked. That the fact that a dude was able to get on a plane with an explosive.
Maybe she's talking about the Al-Qaeda system works.
It proved that passengers are badass.
She did retract that statement, by the way.
Yeah, but she still
well,
said
why did
it.
she say it in the first place?
I mean, I can say horrible stuff and then retract it later, but people are going to forgive me for that. The Skiz isn't going to let me go.
I don't.
He holds you to a higher standard.
Yeah.
You're under the watchful eye of the Skiz.
We're under a new system now. We're basically, if you're on a plane, listen, if I see a dude pull out a lighter on a plane, I'm going to go over and punch him. Pretty much everybody must feel that way, right?
Clearly they do.
Clearly they do. That's the new system.
See, what I said, I think, to Bernie the other day was, we have so many frequent flyer miles, I'm incented to keep that plane in the air. They should let me sit right behind the pilot.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I'll keep an eye on everything.
Yeah.
A dude with 1.75 million frequent flyer miles is not a dude that's going to blow up a plane.
Yeah.
You put way too much work into getting there. You're so close to lifetime platinum, dude.
You paid for the plane.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get to
Basically,
2 million
yeah.
miles, I should get like one veto per plane ride. Like
should.
that guy, he can't get on. You have to go to another airline and fly on that one.
I'm obviously a fucking expert. I have flown a billion times.
You look like
you know,
trouble.
when you're executive platinum on American Airlines, you can book yourself onto a full flight and bump someone off of it.
Can you really do that?
Yeah.
How do you get
You
that?
can book yourself and a travel partner onto a full flight.
Man.
Can you bump somebody
and
out of first
people.
class?
Well, the first class booking system works a little differently, but I don't think so. But typically, you don't have to.
How do you get to executive platinum?
That is 100,000 miles in a year.
Yep.
And there's no lifetime level. Like, you can't get to, say, 5 million miles lifetime and get executive platinum. It's just if you fly 100,000 miles in a calendar year. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
That's rough.
I mean, this has been a long time building up for me, and I've never hit executive platinum, not one time.
Have you ever come close, Gus?
I came close to executive platinum once. I think I had 85,000 miles.
That would have been like 2006-ish, probably
Yeah.
2005.
That's a lot.
It also has to be flying miles. You can't. Nothing else
right.
qualifies. You can't
Wow.
use all your other stuff for
use
it as
your
well.
credit card
credit
miles.
card stuff and all that.
It's got to be miles in the air.
Yep.
Whoever that dude is a miserable fucking dude.
And the fucked up thing is that year when I would travel all the time, like that's the year I became aware of the executive platinum level of flying. I would see those fuckers on every flight I was on.
Really?
It seemed like I had platinum. I felt like I flew a lot, and I could book myself into first class pretty regularly because of it. But sometimes I'd get bumped. I'd be like, "Who are these fuckers bumping me?" And I'd look at all their boarding passes. You could see them. There's tons of them on every flight.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, there's always somebody lining up at the beginning of the flight when they call for.
It's like the Illuminati, like the Masons of the air.
You give each other the nod,
Air Masons.
So this jackass, he gets on a plane and he tries to light a bomb in his underwear, right? And it didn't work.
That's so funny.
And he had a syringe filled with gel and got on the plane with that.
How the fuck do you do that?
I don't know.
That's something you don't want to halfway work. Like if you're going to try and blow yourself up and you're going to you pick the crotch region, and that's not something you want to halfway go. I mean, you either want to be blown up to oblivion or have it not work at all. That's not something you want to halfway.
But if you're us, you do want it to work halfway.
Yeah, if you're everybody else on the plane, you'll take 50%.
And this plane was going to Detroit, too,
Yeah,
right?
I don't understand the motivation there.
That's got to be the last plane I'd want to try to hijack.
He's trying to break America's spirit by striking at the center of our industry.
Yeah, right.
Dude,
if that plane
Detroit's
crashed,
like a fourth world country.
If that plane crashed into Detroit, no one would notice.
Yeah.
It would be like a new condo.
It'd be another tire fire.
The dudes on that flight live with death every day of their life. Every time they walk out their front door, they got to put on bulletproof vests and get in their Mad Max cars with fucking metal shit
It would take them
welded to it.
9 months to find the wreckage. We've got it narrowed down to like 10 different locations. And we're searching.
I read...
It'd be like Escape from New York.
Yeah, it would
It'd
be.
be Escape from New York.
I read that some filmmakers, like recently there's been a problem in Detroit where people are going up there to film, like in the deserted city and like the rundown city, and several filmmakers have been arrested over the past several months because they've been filming and they use, prop guns and they're having gunfire in houses for their movies. The police come because people call because of gunfire for some reason. I don't know why they're not used to it in Detroit yet. Anyway, police come and arrest them all for not having permits to film the movies.
Right. They're probably arresting them for having a gun battle without a permit.
Right. That's exactly
that's
what
probably
they're...
it.
You guys
you
are...
think gunfire in Detroit right now is like crickets in the summer.
Have you guys ever been to Detroit?
I connected through...
It's a fucking scary place. I spent one night there back when I used to be a roadie for a band, and literally the bouncer who sat outside and checked IDs had to wear a bulletproof vest, and it looked it wasn't that I spent some time in the Army and I was in Kuwait right after the Gulf War, and I would see like burned out buildings and piles of rubble and empty lots and shit. Yeah, that was in like '96 was the last time I went, and this was in '98, I guess. But it looked like that. Like there were blocks where just like half demolished buildings and like people hanging clothes out of like 20th story windows, and it was fucking run down. And the place where we played, it was called the Old Miami, and the guy that owned it was named Beretta. And he was telling me a story. I was like, this is kind of a scary place. He goes, oh, it's no problem. He goes, you just got to know how to deal with these kids. Like last night I had a couple kids come in and try to rob me, but I had a bigger gun, so I pinned him up against the wall, and I drove my car into him, and I had him stuck there until the cops came. He ran dudes into the wall so they couldn't move. He had them like literally pinned.
Oh, I like that the bigger gun was a solution.
Yeah,
What was it, like a 50 cal mounted turret?
I don't know. The dude wore a beret, and he still had his army clothes on.
Somebody should rush a webcam up there because
beret.
Isn't a beret a hair clip?
Yeah, he had a beret. His
name was Sally.
With flowers. It was adorable.
Now that we've lost everyone who listens to us in that region of the country and Oregon,
there's no computers.
Where else
there.
can we? I don't know.
We're just cutting off the dead weight.
If there wouldn't be electricity to run them. I'm kidding.
Okay,
but the TSA did the
lovely city.
They did the exact same thing after the shoe bomber. Remember, that's when we started having to take off our shoes all the time.
Right.
We never took off our shoes at security until this one dude tried to blow up a plane with his shoes. So then it was like, okay, now we got to watch out for shoes.
That was that bullshit you and I had to go through when we went to Scotland.
That was ridiculous.
Well,
that was actually before someone tried something. They heard there was a plot to mix gels, which clearly this guy did.
And I think at the time that trip happened, it was like orange level or something like that.
We got let off of every plane by dudes with machine guns.
Yep.
Yeah. It was not a joke. It was fucking scary. And we missed every connection by hours and hours and hours.
We were going to the Edinburgh Film Festival in Scotland. Edinburgh. And you were with us, Joel, weren't you?
Yeah, you were there.
I was there, but since I was coming from Los Angeles, I was coming from different flights.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I had to do a presentation, so I had my normal laptop, and then we have kind of a Haas laptop for a presentation. It was this big, thick, huge laptop. It was a gaming laptop that was capable of showing off machinima in real time. Anyway, So we're getting off the plane. I have 2 laptops with me. We're transferring from American in Heathrow to British Airways to go over to Scotland.
We were in Gatwick.
We were in Gatwick, thank you. And that's where the threat was.
Yeah,
was
that
in
was where the threat
Gatwick 2 days beforehand. So there were dudes with machine guns walking around. And then British Airways had a different set of requirements for carry-on luggage. You could only carry on 1 thing and not 2 things. And Jeff had his camera bag, and I had the 2 laptops. And I said to the guy, I said, well, we're transferring American. We could have 2 carry-ons there. I have 2 laptops. What can I do? And he pointed at one of my laptops and then pointed at the trash can. That was his solution.
Which one did you throw away?
I had to condense them down to 1 bag and throw away one of my laptop bags.
Wow.
And it looked ridiculous. I mean, there's no way it would shut or anything
it was
like that.
pretty crazy.
So, yeah, I had to throw away my primary bag that I'd carried for years.
Well, he showed you.
There's nothing I could do.
It was a fun trip.
Yeah.
Look, unfortunately, you did not have a bigger gun in that situation.
No, I did not.
Also took us 27 hours to get there.
Jesus. You may as well have gone to the moon.
Yeah.
Why'd you just stop in Scotland? Just keep going.
But it was the best trip of all time.
It was a great trip. Once we were there, we were fine.
Joel also...
and they lost our bags. I don't know if you remember that. We had to go out and buy all new
right.
clothes because they lost our bags in this
I forgot
process.
about that. Yeah.
Was coming back a problem also, or were things calmed down by then?
Took us 19 hours to get home. I remember being happy that it was less.
Can't even remember it.
It's funny because
It was supposed to be a 9-hour trip.
I don't know. I get pulled on that trip. I got pulled out of line every single time.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just like, how does the guy from Nigeria who's on terrorist lodges not get pulled out of line? Like,
where did his flight originate? That dude?
Amsterdam.
No, I know the flight was coming from Amsterdam, but that's not where he originated.
Sleeper. No, I don't know.
He originated. Didn't he originate
I thought it was
in Yemen? Where did that guy come from?
Well, I think he was trained in Yemen. Which,
Well,
here's another
he
thing about
was trained in
Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda seems to have given up on the hand-to-hand combat training. Because every time a terrorist does something on a plane, an average Jew just walks up and knocks the shit out of him. Did you read or see any of the interviews with this Jasper guy who took out this guy, the last terrorist?
I haven't seen that.
He basically came over 2 seats and just started beating the shit out of the guy. And burned his hands because he stopped the fuse with his hands.
Wow.
That's a fucking awesome dude.
It's an awesome dude, yeah. And apparently the thing was smoking and was burning, and the stewardess asked the guy, "What's under your blanket?" And he responded, "Explosive device."
At least he's honest.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that's another thing. Al-Qaeda is like, why don't you do a little like interrogation training too while you're at it? Just spend a day on that, a day on hand-to-hand combat, like block 1 punch. Richard,
Do not give up all military secrets.
Reed was the same way. Reed tried to light his shoes on fire, and the guy next to him said, "You're not, don't." The stewardesses, I think, fought him.
Yeah.
the key ingredient here that we're forgetting is that the first stage of this process to get a dude to agree to do this or want to do this, they probably got to be pretty stupid in the first place. So you got to realize you're dealing with probably
or gullible.
Anybody know the name?
Something.
Anybody know this guy's name?
Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalab?
Let's call him Farouk. So Farouk, they started
you probably call
posting
him Umar.
information. Apparently, it was pulled down pretty quickly, but they started posting information from one of his social media sites. Maybe it was Facebook or something. And the article I read pointed out how normal this guy sounded. He just sounded like a sad, depressed, lonely guy.
Well, he's like the son of like a rich banker in Nigeria, right?
Right.
I don't know.
He's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a privileged,
Oh, yeah, right,
he's
he
a
was.
privileged. He's a privileged rich guy who, of course, I don't know.
Said his father's money got locked up in a thing, and he needed somebody from America to get it out for him. Nobody was willing to help him. He's 10 years sending emails. No one responded.
That's probably why he was lonely. That's probably why he was lonely on the internet. He's probably, I emailed 1,000 people and no one will reply to me.
No one believes me.
All I do is want to talk to you about my dad who's a banker in Nigeria.
So ironic.
Suddenly the story, I'm a lot more sympathetic to him.
Well, thank God they stopped him.
Yeah, thank God.
And this Jasper guy has like
Thank
6
God.
groups dedicated to him now on Facebook.
Hey, when's our next trip? We don't have any trips for a while, do we?
It's possible.
PAX East?
We have never been to Ireland, and we got invited to an event kind of at our own expense to go to Ireland.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't mind going to Ireland.
we'll just go. But
When is
go.
that event?
Just go and not do the event.
I don't know, I think it's
The best thing,
March.
not to reduce anyone's culture or anything, but the best thing about going to Scotland or Ireland is that when you have a Guinness over there, it's phenomenal.
It's true. It
Fresh
tastes
Guinness.
It's
different.
much different there. It's,
But fuck Guinness, dude, because you have every scotch in the world right in front of you.
I just want to point out that I think the best thing about going to Scotland was the girl that we were trying to hit on for Joel.
we were trying to hook Joel up with? The prettiest girl ever.
The prettiest girl
next
in
to my
Scotland.
beautiful wife, of course.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. She had her hair was like copper color. What color was that?
Yeah, it was like it was
the
bizarre.
only hue of red you could see if you're in Scotland. That's the only place that color.
She looked like a young Angie Everhart.
She did kind of. That's a good call. Yeah,
you're gonna have to link that. And Jeff and I think we did the best wingman run you could ever do.
It was we were fucking great.
We were. How did Joel do?
Joel did not so well.
All right, I did.
Joel did not hold up his end of the bargain.
I did great.
No.
I did great. No, I did great. I mean,
My favorite part was when you got her phone number and then you called her and she put her boyfriend on the phone to talk to you.
No.
I'm sure the boyfriend took away the phone.
That is not what happened.
I mean,
you were like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, put him on.
That is not what happened.
It's like when Gil talks to his wife. Is that
Let
me talk to my brother.
When Bernie and Jeff are talking about being great wingmen, for them that means sitting next to me, awkwardly not saying anything.
What?
And being weird. That is exactly what. Although I will give them props.
Do you remember
After
she had a friend?
She had a friend. And I engaged this girl, and I engaged the group, and everything was going great, and talking.
How can you
and
say that?
They were like,
we were champs, dude.
we talked to friend for 2 hours.
I will tell you how.
And all we talked about was how you were a movie star, and you were famous.
That did not help.
And we were
Don't
over
do
here
that.
from
That
America.
didn't help.
Because you had to do this
for a film
presentation.
festival.
Like apparently
presentation.
everyone's point of view in Scotland is of everyone who's in LA is whatever happens on an MTV reality show.
Dude, they were big fans of Angel. We were like, Joel's the guy behind the guy.
All they knew is like
I got a
what
newsflash,
happened
we're not
on
from Hollywood.
on the hills. That's all they knew is what was on the hills, which puts us at a real disadvantage, I'd have to say.
I can't tell you everything we talked to that friend about. I mean, we were doing Scottish accents at one point to entertain her.
Yeah, because she was
You guys were like, I really like McDonald's.
No, we were pulling
Good
all
job
the
there.
stops.
All right, you guys are.
You know what was even better? I got to say though, to be fair, what was even better than that girl was the fact that every 2 feet was a trailer that sold hot dogs that were out of this world. And what was hot dogs and
crepes?
And crepes.
We had a hot dog wrapped in a crepe that was the best hot dog in the world.
Damn, dude!
That sounds
I think about that sometimes.
And we're sitting eating hot dogs, drinking Guinness, and there's a castle 5 feet away from us up a hill.
We would wake up at like 11 a.m. and head to a pub and start sipping like Islay Scotch. And then you get hungry, you go get your hot dog crepe,
Lagavulin.
and then you go back to the like
Lagavulin.
Lagavulin or like Lafroig or any of those, and then you go back to your Scotch, and you do that until 2 a.m, and then you go back to bed.
It's pretty cool.
It's just fucking hot dogs, crepes, and whiskey all day long.
and not sleeping with hot chicks.
Oh,
Joel.
no.
yeah, of
Young
course.
Angie Everhart. Who said anything about sleeping with anybody? She was a nice girl.
Joel just wanted to get to know her.
Okay.
They had a lot in common.
By the way, if you ever want to try an Islay Scotch,
Yeah.
it's from the Isle of Islay. I'm not saying it right. Someone will correct me, I'm sure. It's great because it tastes like drinking a Band-Aid.
It does kind of. It's very peaty.
Yeah, it tastes like getting punched in the face with a fistful of dirt.
That sounds like something I want to drink.
In a good way,
awesome.
though.
It's awesome.
Are like little bits of the Isle of Islay in there?
No, but if you buy a bottle of Lafroig, they give you 1 square foot of land.
Yeah, good ones are
on the Isle of Islay.
Lafroig and Lagavulin.
Lagavulin's good, yeah.
To start with.
Just to clarify earlier, that dude got on the plane in Nigeria.
Yeah,
You got on the plane in
what I said.
Nigeria?
Yeah, and
Nigeria.
then connected through Amsterdam.
How the hell do you get through a hole in security in Nigeria? They have to have the best.
I mean, security for planes landing from Nigeria should be you just turn them around, put them back on the plane, and it flies back to Nigeria.
Yeah.
I have flown from some very small towns in America post 9/11 where you just walk up. There's no security. You just get on the plane.
Yeah.
And I'm talking when I was in Quincy, Illinois. There was really, I can't remember going through a metal detector even. And when I landed at a real airport, they did not let us just continue on through the terminal. We had to go through security again.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that in the States when people land. We recognize that there's certain areas of the United States that don't have proper security, so they send us back through again.
Yeah, those
Why
places,
wouldn't they do that
those places
in an
are called
international
airports.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they do that in an international airport? Scumbags, dude.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I have been harassed by TSA. It's been a bunch. And
It's
the
because-
fact that
it's
this guy,
because-
it just shows it's ridiculous. And
And
we all
it's
know
because
it's
you were
ridiculous.
on the terrorist watch list, or not the terrorist. What was it?
Yeah, I was on the watch list.
You were on the watch list.
No,
And
I
why?
wasn't-
And why were you on the watch list?
Because I had
Because
a
your
na-
name sounds like something bad that would happen to an airplane.
Bernie Burns.
That's something that you don't want to have happen. Should we talk about the polls?
Sure.
Look at Joel moving us along.
Move us along.
Okay, well, I'll pull them up then.
I'd be interested to see how from a percentage point, what the percentage is across all podcasts is plane talk.
Yeah,
we spent a lot of time talking about airplanes.
We spent a lot of time in planes.
Maybe I should reclassify our podcast from the game section over to like the travel section.
Sponsored by American Airlines.
I got to lock a poll right now.
You know, to me, it was the most interesting poll. Like, let's vote for the best poll of the year, which was the internet video. Like I thought every single internet video in there was awesome.
Hell yeah,
They're
dude. It was
incredible,
a good
aren't they?
year for videos. Which one won? Do you know?
I just locked it.
Well, let's find out.
All right. Would you like to know who won the Audience Award for Best Online Video?
Why don't we
Yes,
start,
I did.
Why don't we start with the oldest ones?
2000
and work our way newer.
Oh, that'll be is that the grand
The
finale?
oldest poll.
The oldest poll?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we start with the first one then? Gus, do you have that in front of you?
Pulling it up. It looks like the oldest one is Best Movie.
It would have been Best Movie. So who won the Audience Award, the first annual Drunk Tank Audience Award for Best Movie of 2009?
Star Trek.
And we awarded it to?
Star Trek.
So we both awarded Star Trek. So the Drunk Tank official award goes to Star Trek, and the Audience Award.
They'll be receiving a trophy and a check for $10.
While we're on this subject,
a gift certificate for Amazon.com.
Do you want to send them a check?
But we should send them a gift certificate.
Send
for
J.J.
iTunes or
Abrams a
something.
$10 gift certificate. We should do
let's
that.
do
we
that.
absolutely should do that. Absolutely should do that. While we're on this subject, I feel like
I'll go to the trophy store
I feel like we
tomorrow.
have to talk about Avatar because we saw Avatar in the 3D IMAX.
I haven't seen it.
I added it.
I haven't seen it.
I added it into the list after we went to see it.
because I have been dropping some stuff about Avatar before I saw Avatar.
Avatar.
I was wrong.
I'm told, dude.
I was wrong.
James Cameron, man.
Well,
We said we were going to
See-
give them the benefit of the doubt.
there was a scene, and I'm not going to spoil anything here, but there was a scene, and the scene was probably about 20 seconds long. And the scene was, it was one shot, and it was a camera of three people in a room. And there's no dialogue in the shot. And it's just a slow tracking shot of the camera. No dialogue, nothing happens. Phenomenal.
Dude.
Like, phenomenal.
There really is.
Every single shot is like, wow. Like, this is the first time.
I've
that,
never heard you like a movie before.
This is I felt like
a good point.
This is the first time that I felt like I was 7 again. I felt like I was 7 years old watching a movie. Like, despite the script I'm not a huge fan of the script. The script is not great.
I
It
have a
doesn't matter.
theory
Like,
on that I'm going to wait
the
till
way
next week to talk
the
about.
way that you consume that movie. Now, this is all 3D IMAX. If you're watching it in 3D IMAX, the way that you consume that movie, there's so much richness in every single shot. It's just I can't stop talking about it.
Well,
It's
I'm going to see it Saturday with Bernie, so I can't wait.
I had to do a scoping mission to see if my 7-year-old could see it, and I determined he can see it.
I got to say though, if I didn't see it on 3D IMAX, I don't think I would have liked it.
Well, that's what they were saying.
Yeah, that's what everyone said.
That's what
starting with
everybody was
Comic-Con.
saying.
I mean, when you see
when the first trailer came out and everybody was saying how goofy and cartoonish it looked,
It's true.
They kept saying, "See it in
it's
IMAX."
like
It'll make sense.
I saw the movie in the theater. It was unbelievable. Now I go back and on TV and they show like an ad or whatever. I'm like, God, that's terrible.
Yeah.
How could I possibly watch that? No, it's great. I don't know.
I don't want to hype it up too much because I made the mistake of hyping up District 9 too much to Jeff, and then he was like, it was okay.
Well, again, it's all. This is the thing. Like, I'm a huge story guy, and to me, the story wasn't that great, but just the execution of it was so different, and I don't know what to say. I'm ready to start investing in. There's a 3D company, a stock. I'm ready to
Yeah.
invest in it. I mean, it's going to be a huge growth sector.
I've seen every movie I saw this year. I saw in 3D, I think, except for Star Trek.
I don't think the 3D is the main part of it. I just think the presentation of it, and the 3D is a part of the way we saw it, so it's hard for me to separate it. But, they talked about Jar Jar Binks being a realistic character on screen, and even when you saw it, it was like, yeah, this is better, but this was the next level. I mean, it really was the next level.
That's great.
Of realism on the screen.
Cannot wait to see it Saturday.
Just so you know, the audience voted Avatar second. Star Trek got 496 votes. Avatar got 405 votes. Okay. And I think that says a lot because I don't think a lot of people have seen Avatar yet because they're waiting for the ability to be able to get a seat to go see it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think
Inglourious Bastards is pretty close behind Avatar too.
You know what? I would have done them in that order. I would have probably done Avatar and then Inglourious Bastards. I think Inglourious Bastards is going to be a movie that people come back to after this year.
It was a good movie.
In ways they don't with, say, Star Trek.
Still haven't seen it, but I'd love to.
And I thought it was interesting that Hangover, I thought they would do much better with our audience, but Taken almost beat Hangover. Mm-hmm. And Taken was a very small movie that not many people saw. Maybe we trumped it up a little bit too much in previous podcasts. But
Maybe.
Yeah. Hangover got...
Great fucking movie, though.
It could be, yeah, I mean, just everyone who might have voted for Hangover might have just, that vote probably went to Star Trek or Avatar instead.
Yeah. True.
I definitely am not sure I agree with the Star Trek choice, but hey.
Yeah, it was a majority rule kind of thing. I didn't personally agree with it either.
Wait a minute, if you didn't personally agree with it, you voted for Taken, but we
I
were
voted for
outvoted.
Taken.
It had the
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
votes. If had you been at lunch, you would have voted for Avatar with me.
Always missing lunch.
Yep.
That's what you get.
All right, shall we move on to Best TV Show of the Year?
Yes.
Nominees for Best TV Show of the Year for 2009 were Lost. The audience had a special one, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, that they kept asking for, which we did not have in our nominees.
And
How I Met Your Mother, Dexter, The Office, and 30 Rock. And the audience chose, somewhat overwhelmingly, The Office.
I'm surprised by that.
go figure. The one they make us put in there is the one that comes in dead last.
Yeah,
That's the one they vote for the least.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia, right? And then what did we choose as the best TV show of 2009?
I think we chose Lost.
We
Lost.
chose Lost Season
Yeah.
4. That is correct. Are you guys excited
You
about
want to
Season
know
5?
why? You want
Yeah.
to know why? Probably why it got chosen is
Season
because
6.
you're just before the end, and so that anticipation. Like, what if the end? What if the end is terrible?
I don't think it will be.
No, this season was really good. I mean, if you watch the show, I take your opinion a lot more seriously.
Oh, this was
totally.
actually season 5 of Lost,
it's
though, right?
funny
Not 4?
because
it was season 5.
I've not seen a single episode of Lost really, but I would still vote for Lost.
Well, if you're a story dude, you should watch Lost.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really good.
exactly. I need to watch. I need to watch.
I think with awards, especially as something gets up there in seasons, is that it becomes easier to say, well, we're not going to honor, because clearly it's better than everything else, or it's on a
Right.
different level. So you stop considering something after it has a certain level of success.
And I totally disagree with that.
And I think Lost is there.
I totally disagree with that. It's like when you went to Slam Dance and they were having the video game contest.
Yes.
It's the same philosophy where it's just like,
So you don't disagree that it happens. You disagree with you
no,
dislike the
I
philosophy.
agree that it happens, and I agree that it happens. It does happen. It shouldn't.
The Emmys are actually pretty good about that because the guy who plays George Costanza on Seinfeld, Jason Alexander, he never won an Emmy for that. He kept losing to the dude from Frasier.
That's a
over
fucking crime, dude, because
and
he
over
was
again.
the best part of that show.
He was amazing.
From day one, he was amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody else had to take time to get into their character. Mm-hmm. He was fucking awesome out of the gate.
You know what's really weird? You want to talk about marketing dollars spent incorrectly. Do you know that there was a Seinfeld reunion
Yeah, on Curb Your Enthusiasm,
on
right?
Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah.
After like that stand-up deal, like every time you see that guy, it's like to me it hasn't worn off. Is it like, oh, I just feel awkward watching him?
Oh, the
You know
Michael
what I'm
Richards
talking
thing?
about? Yeah.
Michael Richards.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd forgotten about it, actually, until you mentioned it.
So you know what I keep remembering from Seinfeld, the post-Seinfeld era, is that show made so much money in syndication that Jerry Seinfeld went on Letterman to promote when the show changed hours in New York in syndication.
Yeah, unbelievable.
That it moved from like 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. in syndication.
That's how you know. That's how you know. You have
Hey, you
so
know,
much money
I just read a list. I wish I had it in front of me. I didn't even think about it, but I just read a list of 2009's highest-grossing entertainers, and I don't think Seinfeld was on it this year. And he's usually up there making about $50 million a year off Seinfeld. I wonder if it's finally starting to wane.
One of the other candidates for Best TV Show of the Year is How I Met Your Mother. It's already in syndication. And I think it signed some kind of record-breaking syndication deal or something like that. And I think or maybe it was interesting in the fact that when it signed its syndication deal, it was number 40 in the top shows.
Really?
It didn't have that. It wasn't having that huge a run yet.
You have to wonder how much goes into like the backward side of the formula of how well they think that they can sell it after the fact, and like that's becoming more and more and more important.
I would think so.
I would,
Yeah.
I would think a lot of TV shows aren't going to have 10-year runs anymore. That after 4 seasons, 5 seasons, people are pretty much done with it. There's too much stuff out there to watch.
Do you think that people?
Also, the costs rise so significantly.
Do you think they're going to go like it's like the route of Lost and Battlestar Galactica, where they, from the onset, they want to go a certain length?
This is the deal. Like every network has standard contracts with actors and a lot of the other above the line people, and all those contracts are 5 years. And this is why you see a lot of shows going 7 years, because they will go the 5 years. They will eat years 6 and 7 and cost skyrocket, and that's usually what is the final nail in the coffin. But
Well, I would think we might head even towards the UK model, where a show starts, and when the show starts, they don't plan on it lasting more than 2 or 3 seasons.
Right.
I thought the magic number was always 4 for television seasons in America, Joel.
I think a lot of them are 5. But
Okay.
What, for syndication?
No.
just like I remember, like on Enterprise, like it was like they all had contracts for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
I think it was the same. Yeah, it was the same for Angel, where they had the numbers were built in for 5 years. They knew what they were dealing with, and after that, it was like bets off.
Hey, nobody's talking about it, but The Simpsons broke Gunsmoke's record this year.
Oh, did it
This
really?
season.
Did it really?
Yeah.
No, I thought Gunsmoke still has
No,
one
I
year
just
on it,
I
doesn't
just
it?
read an interview with Yardley Smith, where she was talking about how they finally broke it. I watched the latest episode of The Simpsons on Hulu, and then it was like post episode they had an interview with her talking
So
about.
wait a minute. I mean, what are we talking about here? How long is
21 years
21
for
years.
The Simpsons now.
Jeez.
Gunsmoke was 20, I think.
crazy.
Longest running scripted television show of all time.
Never seen an episode of Gunsmoke.
I thought it was. I thought it's funny.
I've seen a few when I was a
Yeah,
kid.
Gunsmoke was 20. Goddamn, I thought Gunsmoke was 21.
Nobody's talking about that. But that's a tremendous milestone. That's probably never going to be broken.
Probably not. That's like a Cal Ripken kind of a record.
And
that's fucking insane.
The industry's so different now. And I'll tell you too. The episode of Simpsons I watched was hilarious. It was still funny, still good.
Yeah, they've had their up and down years.
They have for sure. But
It's 20 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you possibly find something funny or engaging after 20 years? I mean, it's going to have a totally different audience at that point.
yeah.
Right? And it's, the people who watched it when they were 18 are now 38.
Dude, I remember watching the first episode and then talking.
I would
about
like
it
to-
at
I would
lunch
like
with
to
my
think
friends.
that-
I must have been 14 or so.
Yeah.
13 or
When The
14.
Simpsons started, I lived in a small town and we didn't have Fox. Like, I couldn't watch The Simpsons till like season 3. We didn't get
Oh,
Fox
really?
till then.
Really?
Yeah, it was really weird. I kept hearing about it, and I'd see stuff about it on the news. Had no idea.
So you actually probably started watching it once it was actually the show it is now.
Yeah,
and
once it
not-
was good.
Yeah, I did. I missed the crappy first season.
And not the animated version of Married with Children, essentially, is what it was.
Yeah.
I always thought that when The Simpsons came out, that the Flintstones was like the animated Honeymooners.
Yeah,
And that The Simpsons was
absolutely.
like the animated version of Married with Children.
That's so. What's so funny to me is when you look at technology and you look at how how far back The Simpsons goes, and it's like, wait a minute, how come they don't have a flat screen TV or cell phones? It's like the stuff that exists in society now.
Do you think
isn't applicable to how it was in the first episode?
They actually just updated
Right.
for the 20th season. They updated the intro, and now during the intro, like where they do the couch gag, when it cuts to the TV screen after that, it's a flat screen now.
Right.
Do you think Tracy Ullman got anything out of The Simpsons?
That's
early
a
on?
good question.
I never see her listed as a producer or anything. I never see her get a credit, but she did launch that show.
Yeah, the reason why you're asking is that The Simpsons started as an interstitial cartoon on the Tracy Ullman Show.
And think
Yeah.
about those actors. Like the actors were hired. They were booked. I'm not sure all of them, but I think a majority of them were booked as actors for her show.
Probably.
And then they wound up as voice actors for the cartoon. And now here it is. Crazy, right?
That is crazy.
I don't know. What's our next?
Our next one is the best trailer of 2009.
Hands down. The best trailer ever made.
Well, the audience differed with us.
The audience-
They overwhelmingly voted for We Are ODST, the
Great commercial.
live-action ODST television
You know what I think made that spot work so much is that you'd see it in places like for me, I saw it in places where I wouldn't normally see it, and when it started, you didn't know what it was, and then by the end, when you got the payoff, it was like, oh my god, this is Halo. That's awesome.
It's a great commercial. It really is.
Yep.
But I don't think it's better than the Old Republic trailer.
It always kind of disturbed me a little bit that the kid in the longer version at the funeral reminded me of Gavin.
Oh, did it? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's distracting.
And then, that's a long path from Gavin to Interstellar Soldier.
I don't know. I think I would if I had to pick between ODST and the Star Wars one. I think I'd go with ODST.
Really?
Well, for best trailer, spoiler, good Joel, of 2009, we selected Gus,
You mean, us personally, we
Yes.
selected Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Star Wars: The Old Republic. And I think the big argument that somebody put out there about it was that it's not a trailer because it doesn't contain footage from the game. It's like
cutscenes in the game.
It's a cutscene, and it's
Well,
not
the
gameplay.
ODST trailer's all live action.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and I also argued that the Tron teaser was just a teaser. None of that's
Well,
movie footage either.
yeah.
Here's my other thing, and maybe it's like I'm too much into the business of it, but it's like I think the trailer that did the most with the least, I think was Modern Warfare 2. I think that trailer was
was better than the game.
Once again, you should have been at lunch because Jack was saying the same thing. You still would have been outvoted because the three of us voted for the Star Wars: The Old Republic trailer. My main logic behind that was I was not going to play a Star Wars MMO game after Galaxies. After I saw that trailer, there was no way I was not going to play that.
That trailer was better than episodes 1 through 3.
Yeah,
awesome.
no, it was. You're absolutely right.
that trailer is fucking incredible.
We probably watched that trailer.
It should be.
I'm gonna watch it again right now.
If you're going to make a trailer that's like, individually rendered, where you sort of storyboard it and you individually render everything, and it's Star Wars, it should be like that. It should be like that.
Tell that to the Clone Wars TV show.
Yeah.
That's individually rendered, whatever that means.
It's technical, Bernie.
It's a group rendering.
It's not, that wasn't gameplay footage.
Hey, you know what wasn't in that list? There was a great trailer. Was the Left 4 Dead 2 trailer?
The Left 4 Dead introduction cutscene. That was a very, very good one. I don't know why
really
that
good.
wasn't in there.
I don't either.
I probably still would have picked Star Wars over.
Oh,
Republic
I would
over
too.
that.
I would too. But it was good. It was as good as Call of Duty.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
That was a trailer that was leaked from Valve, and then the Meet the Spy was leaked from Valve as well, and then of course we all know Half-Life 2 was leaked from Valve. And I just saw today there's a dude playing Half-Life 2 on Natal, and it's cell phone footage leaked, I assume, from Valve. I think Valve needs to lock their doors at night.
They need a plumber.
Or something.
That's a pretty leaky Valve. Jesus.
A leaky Valve, it's true. I just wonder why so much stuff come out of there.
I don't know.
It makes
a lot of people trying to get stuff out of there,
It's
I guess.
leaked. Wink.
Wink. All right, so let's move on to best online non-leaked video of 2009.
No, we didn't do best video game of the year yet.
I skipped over video game. Sorry, because it had the same titles as some of the trailer ones. Sorry. You want to leave video game for the end of the year, or for the last one? Or you want to leave the online video for the end?
Okay, whatever you want. I'm
We
good.
should leave video game. We should leave video game. It should be last.
Okay, so let's.
Well,
do
we're
it.
online video guys. Maybe we leave online video. Everybody has best video game.
We should make a poll about which poll we should.
Which one we should do last?
All right, best video game of the year.
Best video game of 2009.
As voted by the audience.
The audience award for the first annual Drunk Tank Awards for best video game of 2009 goes to Joel.
Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2
What were the contenders there?
from the very popular
It was,
Call of Duty franchise.
ODST, Modern Warfare 2, Left 4 Dead 2, Uncharted 2, Assassin's Creed 2. You see a theme here? And Batman Arkham Asylum.
That is crazy because Brutal Legend was in our list, but what was added for theirs? Arkham Asylum.
I think Arkham might have been.
I think we considered in ours. We also considered Brutal Legend as well.
I think it
And
should have been
Borderlands.
considered.
but
A lot of good games this year.
I mean, everything was considered, right? But we did narrow it down a bit. Mm-hmm. But those are all sequels, except for Batman Arkham Asylum, and that's a reboot essentially.
It's a franchise.
of a Batman game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and 2010 is not looking any different.
Except now they're all going to have threes.
Well, it's just a lot of twos coming out.
So Brutal Legend was really one of the only new IPs that we considered. Are they going to make a Brutal Legend 2? Do you know?
Jeez, I don't know.
I hope
Oh,
they
they
do.
haven't said.
I hope they do.
They're cranking out DLC right now, so they're supporting it. So
Yeah. Borderlands, by the way, is already on its second DLC.
Yep.
That's pretty fast.
just
pretty
just
fast.
came out yesterday.
I saw Gus playing it.
And what's our choice?
Our choice for Best Video Game of the Year, 2009, first annual Drunk Tank Awards, Left 4 Dead 2.
Yes, hands down.
I'm sure it's going to be a controversial decision.
See,
Why do you think that?
I think we have a lot of Modern Warfare 2 fans.
I would say
But
I'd say Modern Warfare
What,
2.
what I felt was, well, and here's my rationale for voting for Left 4 Dead 2. The delta between Left 4 Dead 1 and Left 4 Dead 2 was greater than the delta between Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare.
I have this. Okay.
Modern Warfare 2 is not as good as Modern Warfare 1. I don't think. It was a good game, great game, but not as good as Modern Warfare 1.
Here's my feeling. The gameplay that you were doing yesterday with Jack, that the whole
Spec Ops?
all that Spec Ops, like that to me gave the game a whole second life. After I finished the campaign, all those I love all those missions.
Let me ask you a question, Joel. In 3 months, what are you more likely to put in your Xbox? Left 4 Dead 2 or Modern Warfare 2?
You're
You're
right.
going to be playing
Yeah,
Left 4 Dead 2 until
you're-
Left 4 Dead 3 comes out. You're going to get more gameplay out of that than Modern Warfare.
You're right.
And you got to
You're right,
look at the
but
big picture. Like, what are you going to get the most value out of? I think, like,
You know,
Modern Warfare is
and
a
you know-
great
but you
single
know
player,
why,
and it's a lot
you know
of fun.
why is because Left 4 Dead 2 is just more of a community game to me.
Sure.
I guess
Modern Warfare
yeah.
has the same multiplayer. I mean,
But Modern Warfare also, you have that bite size where you know in 3 months you're going to be able to put the disc in and get matched in the same kind of game you got matched in on day one.
yeah.
It's going to be harder to put together a Left 4 Dead game. Or you're going to have to... Because Left 4 Dead is a small enough group where you can get 4 people together and you can all play. That's a lot easier in the first month or two. You don't tend to just drop into a party in Left 4 Dead. Right, Joel?
I do.
You use random matchmaking?
Yeah.
I do random matchmaking in Left 4 Dead.
The
yeah.
scavenge mode is a totally new mode in Left 4 Dead 2. The way the campaign is done with the way they do the objectives totally different. The melee weapon system's different. Modern Warfare 2, I really don't feel like there's anything new in there at all. I think it's...
Spec Ops.
Spec Ops is awesome. Spec Ops is really fucking cool.
But Spec Ops is really just a Mile High Club game type. They took Mile High Club and
Co-op.
expanded it.
Yeah. Co-op Mile High Club. Yeah, for sure.
And they just expanded it a little bit.
That's
That's not a bad thing, but
No, I mean, I don't think we're arguing with each other. We're just looking at both sides of the issue here,
Yeah.
and I think we're just trying to explain why we chose Left 4 Dead 2 over Modern Warfare.
also
2.
I have the feeling that Valve is going to support Left 4 Dead 2 more than Infinity Ward will support Call of Duty. I think.
I mean, well, why does that figure into your decision?
Because I'm looking at like what I'm going to get. Like I know that there'll be DLC packs coming out for Left 4 Dead 2 that I can continue to go back and enjoy the game. And if I get tired of it, there'll be a like survival mode will come out or a new kind of multiplayer mode. There'll be new.
The one thing that I really want from Valve, and I felt like I just wish they had more. It's just more maps.
Really?
Like in other words, when they gave the DLC, I mean, I can't even remember. Would they add like one map at the end there towards the end, right?
For Left 4 Dead?
Yeah.
So far, but there's more coming.
It was a new campaign with 3 maps, essentially.
Right, and I want more is all. But
I don't want more. Here's how I can tell I don't want more, is that I have one expert campaign completed on Left 4 Dead 2, and I can't believe I've got to do 4 more of those. It seems like an insurmountable amount of levels to go through on expert. So I'm perfectly happy with the amount of
Which
levels.
one have you completed?
We completed them all one. Dead Center.
Dead Center, okay.
I don't know. To me, this goes back to, I just wish they would, I don't know. Achievements are so diffracted now. Like, there's so many achievements you have to get in every game. It's just, I don't know.
Well, if you consider this, let's say there's an average of about 4.5 maps per campaign, because some have 4 levels and some have 5 levels in them. Mm-hmm. And there's 5 campaigns. So, you're looking at about 22 levels that this game shipped with. Nothing ships with that many. I mean, Halo ships with a ton of levels, and that's got about 13 when you get it. How many does Gears of War ship with in multiplayer levels?
Like 9.
I mean, the one thing about Valve you could say is that, about Left 4 Dead, is that the campaign levels are the multiplayer levels as well.
People are just thrown off because, it's like, oh, there's only 4 campaigns, there's only 5 campaigns. Yeah, but there's fucking, 5 maps
But
in there.
here's the thing. Valve has got me asking all the right questions. They've got me asking all the right questions, which is, I love your game, I just want more of it. You know, and that's where you want to be.
Yeah. I want to know more about the story of Left 4 Dead 2 as well, I mean, because they don't give you enough.
I almost, in Left 4 Dead 3, I almost want to see the 2 groups meet somehow.
Well, they already
announced
that in Left 4 Dead 2 DLC they're going to do that.
In February.
There you go.
Yeah. And if people are complaining about the story of Avatar, somebody explain the goddamn story of Modern Warfare 2 to me. I mean, just from beginning to end, just start telling the story and see if you go, wait. I mean, there's moments in the game where it's like, dramatic moment. It's like, what? Why did this happen? This doesn't even make sense why this happened.
Yeah.
There's no setup for this. And then there's I don't even know who this character is. What? Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And they have you leaping from one dude to another dude.
Yes.
And it's like, what was cool at first? Because it's like, wow, how are they going to wrap this up? It's like, oh, maybe they're just not going to wrap it up. Maybe it's just going to get more confusing. Right.
And they do weird stuff like in the trailer, you see that space shot, and you're like, fucking astronaut fight. This is going to be awesome. And then in the game, you're like, why did I just do that? What was the point of that?
It was, it's totally unnecessary.
You know what I'm starting to think with video games and story? I'm starting to think, especially with shooter games, less is more.
Yeah.
Because you can't compete with a 40-second cutscene when you just went through 2 hours of shooting, maybe over the course of 2 or 3 days. And then you come back to a story, and it's like, what was this?
Well,
Who's this guy?
That might be why you like Left 4 Dead, the Left 4 Dead series. The story's very minimal.
But there's more.
It's told while you're playing, and you can read the walls if you want.
Yeah, they do it so smartly because there's more there if you want to seek out and find it. Mm-hmm. If you want to go and look at all the messages and piece shit together, you can do that, and that's very fucking cool.
Essentially, there's zombies everywhere. We need to get out of here.
But you're not beat down with it.
And I didn't play Brutal Legend, but I watched you play it. But another thing I want to say about Left 4 Dead 2, it's the funniest game of the year. They put humor in that game in a way that actually works.
Yeah, Brutal Legend was pretty fucking funny.
They were both funny, which is like that.
But Ellis is hilarious.
Oh yeah,
and it's not overdone, and it's not too handy.
You might hear one or maybe 2 Ellis stories a level, and that's it.
Right,
and he gets cut off
every time. It's to the point where it's like I still want to hear what he has to say. That it's like when it's like everyone stop moving.
Just try capturing it. You're just sitting around going, Ellis, please fucking talk again. I've been capturing for 12 minutes. For God's sake, say something funny.
Okay, we ready to move on to best online video of the year?
Yeah, what were?
Now we excluded. People kept wondering why we didn't include Red versus Blue in this, but this is just the one-off, one-hit video thing that does well, and we're not going to put our own thing in it.
Obviously, we would win our award.
Duh.
We can have like a conversation about best Red versus Blue character, and then watch the 4 of us argue.
Then there'd be a fight over the gift certificate. Forget about it.
Well, I got news. All your characters are dead. So. Oops, church wins. But I just want to also mention
that just makes our characters more entertaining.
So we might do in the future. We might do online series, but that's probably awards for somebody else to do. These are just fun little one-off video awards.
Yeah.
Okay. Best online video of 2009 for the first annual Drunk Tank Awards. The audience award narrowly goes to
Gravity-Defying Drunk.
the Gravity-Defying Drunk.
What were the nominees again? It was Gravity Defying Drunk. It was
a Daichi Beatboxer, the 2009 Malibu versus 1959 Bel Air.
That's awesome.
Surprise Kitty, David After the Dentist, Smartest Criminal Ever, and Gravity-Defying Drunk.
I really, really, really need someone to get the old Star Trek music that da 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 da.
That's
and
pretty
lay
good,
that
Joel.
over.
Yeah, we don't.
And lay that over the Gravity-Defying Drunk, because that will be the greatest.
You should
video
have like
ever.
the alarms going off on the bridge and like a shot of like William Shatner bracing himself against the chair.
Well, somebody please do that.
Some photon torpedoes hitting him.
It won by a margin of 6 votes. Was that our closest?
What was second place?
That's pretty close.
It beat the Surprise Kitty.
Surprise Kitty's pretty cute.
Yeah, which is more recent as well.
Yeah.
Someone pointed out in the polls that the more recent ones are doing very, very well. David After the Dentist was...
Except in the case of Star Trek, which one?
Except in the case of Star Trek, right. They were talking specifically about the online video poll, though. And David After the Dentist was, when it came out, when I found out that it was in 2009 and we had to add it in late, I thought, oh, well, this is clearly going to win. But it came in what? 5th place.
Yeah.
Second from the bottom.
Yeah, I didn't like David After the Dentist.
Really?
No.
Why, do you think it was exploitive of the kid or something?
I did.
Okay, that's a good reason, I guess.
I want to see
Gravity-Defying
someone.
Drunk was one of the greatest things ever, though. I don't.
There are so many elements that make that an awesome video.
If you think David After the Dentist, the video, was exploitive, I would not go back and watch it now.
Oh, yeah?
Because the video is covered with annotations, and the sidebar is filled with all sorts of merchandise with the kid's face on it, where the dad is now selling shirts and stuff. Yeah.
Damn, man.
So
Yeah.
I want to see the person who owns that kitty put it up on eBay. See how much you get for the kitty. I bet you get a lot. Right?
How are we going to get a trophy to Gravity-Defying Drunk? Or we have to hide it like in a 12-pack and
Yeah.
put it out in the street at 10 in the morning and hope he finds it?
we should.
You and I should get drunk and accept it in his honor, Gus.
You can now go to davidafterthedentist.com and buy all sorts of
You wonder if this
merchandise.
guy's like trying to give his kids different pharmaceutical drugs and see what the reaction is.
Hey, man, if
Send
it puts a
them
kid
that
through
video.
college, what the hell, right?
Yeah, if it does. Or just buys dad a new car, right?
That is the worst
Yeah.
thing I've ever seen in my life.
Dad gets a Lexus.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Bernie is showing this. This is terrible. The site for the T-shirts for this is awful.
All right, fair
Guy's-
enough.
Guy's the
Well,
new Joe Jackson.
And who did we award our award for Best Online Video of 2009?
I think we did Gravity-Defying Drunk,
It
right?
wasn't even close. Gravity Defying Drunk. The best video ever made.
When I wasn't going to vote for it. I would have voted for probably Cat vs. Cop, which didn't actually make it.
Oh,
into the
Cat
final
vs.
cut.
Cop's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And when I was posting the links to it, I watched the Gravity Defying Drunk, and it was impossible not to laugh.
Dude, the great thing about that one, too, is it immediately spawned all the side videos, like the old-timey Gravity Defying Drunk.
Old-timey Gravity-Defying Drunk's awesome.
And then there was like the 2001 Gravity Defying Drunk.
You know,
I mean, there's
the-
so
the-
many awesome videos.
The reason
immediately.
why we probably like this video the best is because we relate to it so well.
Yeah.
No, it's easy to point and say, that's not me. There's somebody worse than me.
I haven't hit bottom yet. Look at that.
I didn't get that drunk till noon that day.
There are little elements. It's just like
10
Left 4
in the
Dead.
morning.
You can go back and look at the little parts to it. You can see him trying to play it
does.
off when the guy comes up to him.
Yeah, it's got like a structure. It's like it raises the stakes when they finally discover him in the back aisle. And it's like, oh. And like the journey out of the store, and will he make it?
How did he not? How did no one notice him? Is what still floors me about that
Well,
video.
you know that like people were probably seeing him out, but they were like, "I'm not acknowledging this," I'm not- because
Yeah.
hey man, when you see it, now you're responsible for
Yeah.
it. Now you have to like.
The entrance is the best. Just the guy.
He's so
with-
fucking cool. He's like
oh, he's just strolling in.
strutting, got it down.
So congratulations to you, drunk guy. The person who posted this was Sir Flanagan, but that was just the guy who posted it on YouTube. I wonder where this came from.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe somebody in the audience knows. We can do some research.
The YouTube video does have a break watermark on it too, so it must have come from
Yeah,
Break.
the first place I saw it was Break.
Gosh, unbelievable. Well, congratulations to you, nameless guy. I hope you're getting the help you deserve.
Or at least another suitcase full of Natty Light.
And it does seem very appropriate to give the Drunk Tank Award to the drunkest person of 2000.
That's the
That's
drunkest
a good
person
point.
I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen anyone drunker than that.
Dude, it was impressive.
Maybe dead. That actually, maybe somebody who lives in a jar filled with formaldehyde would be drunker than that guy.
You've never seen like a clear like illustration of like someone's drunkenness, transposed into physicality. Is that just like that? Is it physical
Well,
embodiment of drunk?
what was your favorite moment in 2009? Do you have any good moments from the Drunk Tank? Isn't it? We're now 45 weeks in, 43 weeks in.
You know what the best moment of 2009 was?
What's that?
That was about the middle of March, my friends. Yes, and that was the bottom of the stock market. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good moment for me.
All right.
That was a good moment.
I'm sure all the kids listening will agree with you.
Even understand the bottom of the stock
when your
market.
parents are no longer crying. That's.
Yeah, I don't know. What about you, Bernie? What was your best moment of 2009?
Man, I don't know. I've had a pretty good 2009. I'm really looking forward to 2010. I really am. I've read a lot of articles talking about just the decade in general.
Yeah.
How this wasn't a great decade for America specifically. And I agree with that. And I'm seeing people having a lot of optimism going into the new year and going into the new decade, and I'm one of them. I'm on board.
I got to say, I think this is a bad thing, but I think from the end of World War II to the real estate bubble, America has been like the king of the world in every sense of the word. I think that's over.
Well, a lot
I
of people
think
are saying
that this is the beginning. I think that things are going to be different now. I think China is going to be, and this is a long-term deal where we're talking generations, but I don't know that the United States of America will see times as good as they have been from 1945 to 2009.
So yeah, optimistic. Pretty much for
Joel thinks so as well.
I
No,
think
it's going to be a great year. It's going to be the best year of all time for video games. It has the potential to be.
Let me see if I understand this straight. I want to see if I got Joel's point. Joel is pessimistic and is concerned that some things might not be
But
good.
Jeff brings up an excellent point. There will be excellent video games.
It's going to be if half of the games that are supposed to come out in 2010 come out and don't get pushed, it's going to be a fucking retarded year for video games.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So
That's
The
all I'm
first
gonna say about
quarter. The first quarter looks like a holiday.
We'll see.
It's yeah.
We'll
first
see.
quarters. Yeah.
It's going to be nuts.
I mean, we are definitely heading into the next phase of the video game industry where we're not seeing too much original stuff anymore.
No, we're definitely not.
And next year looks like a lot of sequels, like you said. I mean, everything we're looking forward to is a major sequel to a major franchise.
Well,
there's a
some
lot of original IPs coming out. We're not
Red Dead
disagree
Redemption.
there.
Well, I guess Red Dead Redemption's a sequel, but like Alan Wake, looking forward to that.
I can think
Dark
of Alan
Void.
Wake, Bayonetta, Darksiders.
Dante's.
Is that original?
Dante's Inferno. Yeah.
I guess that's an original IP.
Well, I mean, I guess it's loosely based off the book.
But it's not a video game sequel, I guess.
Sure. Mag.
Mag, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff coming out.
A lot of sequels coming out too, though.
There's a lot of sequels. It's easier to recoup your money when you're doing it over a 2 or 3 title cycle.
Yeah.
Once you have that engine and all that cost is
This is just. I think this is just true for entertainment in general. I mean, this is where money is made is on franchises.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I do agree with you that people seem to be more optimistic. I think people are ready to put 2008 and 2009 behind them and move on. People seem to be generally happier.
Yeah, fuck that. It's in the rearview window.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the future.
I'm excited about. I guess the best part of 2009 for me was Achievement Hunter.
Didn't you start that in 2008 though?
I started it in the summer of 2008, but I felt like this fall is when everything started firing on all cylinders, and I started to get happy that I was where I wanted to be with it.
Good.
Yeah.
I think it's come along.
Gavin Free has connected.
I have a
look,
special
it's
guest here. Gavin's here. Gavin's going to tell us his favorite moment from 2009. Gavin, can you hear me? Gav?
Maybe we should have rehearsed this.
Gavin!
It better not be when I bust on my fucking leg.
Hello.
Oh, there he is. Hold on one second. You're going to hear some mic noise here for a second. So you can edit that out later. Hey, Gav.
Hey, what's up?
So, what was your favorite moment from 2009?
was it being under the chair that I threw on top of you?
Tron trailer.
That was your favorite moment of the year? The fucking trailer? What kind of a loser are you?
All right. Bye, Gavin.
It's like when they do interviews on.
God, he just continues to disappoint in the drunk tank.
That obviously did not work out very well.
Mike going back in. Boop.
So
right.
his favorite moment in the entire year was the Tron trailer, which didn't even come out this year. Didn't they show it at? They showed it at Comic-Con 2008.
Yeah.
Gus's favorite moment from 2009 was when Gav spoke because now he's got something to rip on.
I mean, I wish he was here so I could hit him. I'm sorry, the skiz.
We're gonna have to go outside and punch Jack now.
I apologize.
God damn it, Jack!
Let's get Jack in here. Let's get Brandon in here so we can yell at someone.
I love Gavin.
You gotta love Gav.
All right.
He's my favorite Frenchie.
So I'm looking forward to 2010. I hope the rest of you are looking forward to 2010 as well. I think it's going to be a great year for us here at Rooster Teeth, and I think it's going to be a great year for everyone in general. Maybe even those of you who don't live in the kingly country of the United States.
It's gonna be a busy year for Rooster Teeth. We got a lot on our plate this year coming up.
Yeah.
Especially in that first quarter. Yeah.
Especially in that first quarter.
Well, all right. Gus,
Yay!
thank you for a year of running the Drunk Tank podcast.
You did a great job, buddy.
Let's hope it lasts another month.
Take it one
Okay.
episode at a time.
Yeah, what are we? This is episode number 42.
42. Wow.
Out of how many?
Well, we're actually a little over a year old now.
No.
Yeah, but our first podcast, I think, was like 55 weeks ago.
Oh, that's when we were doing the one every couple of months thing?
Right, exactly.
Oh, you know what's interesting? Bernie pointed out to me that the Drunk Tank podcast is about to have more episodes than the original Drunk Tank from
That
Drunk
is
Gamers.
true. Yeah.
We're about to eclipse the Simpsons. Take them out.
All right, we should probably end on a high note
Simpsons,
then.
Gunsmoke.
All right.
Have a happy
Drunk
New Year,
Tank.
everyone. Don't drink too much.
TTFN.
Also,
Drink a lot.
I want to point out something. A quick plug for the end of 2009.
Go crazy.
I was asked to appear on a Revision 3 show called Web Zeros, and I believe that is up right now at revision3.com, rev3.com.
Oh, cool. That's smooth for you guys.
Yeah, the Smooth Few guys. They
Those
used
guys
to
are awesome.
make the a machinima called Leak World, and they're making a show called now Web Zeros. This is the sneezing. This is the season finale. So go check it out, and if you like it, go watch the rest of them.
Hell yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Bye.